So with all the people that we interviewed and the video that we recovered, we're charging you with murder.
We are getting a look at police body cameras and interrogation room videos that chronicle the investigation into a brutal stabbing outside an Ohio smoke shop. As two teens started to fight in the parking lot, one stabbed the other in the neck, causing her to bleed out. The newly released video files lay out what and who police encountered as they got to the scene and how they were quickly able to identify and arrest the killer. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. In the summer of 2024, now 20-year-old Bryanna Barozzini entered a guilty plea to a charge of involuntary manslaughter for killing 17-year-old Halia Colbertson in Franklin County, Ohio. Now, Barozzini, who was 18 when this altercation happened outside of a smoke shop just before midnight, agreed to enter the plea just before she was scheduled to go to trial.
Are you pleading guilty to this crime I've outlined for you because you did, in fact, commit that crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, have a seat. Thank you.
But now, we have newly released footage from that crime scene, and it is giving us a much better look at the investigation by Columbus police in March of 2023. Because that is when they say Barozzini encountered 17-year-old Halia Colbertson at a store, and that is when the two get into this argument inside. Now, according to witnesses at the scene, Barozzini and Colbertson used to be friends, but there had apparently been bad blood brewing between the two of them for years. And when Barozzini allegedly accused Colbertson of using drugs, Colbertson decided to wait for Barozzini outside the store, seemingly so the two could fight. Now, one of the witnesses filmed the fight, and part of that video was played for the court during sentencing.
Hold up, set!
Hey, get off my sister, bro! Get off my sister. Hey, if you touch my sister, girl, I'm gonna have to put my phone down, bro. Halia, crunch her to get it over with, bro. Crunch her to get it over with, Halia.
And at the end of that video, Colbertson's chest is covered in blood as she goes back to her car. It is a really disturbing crime and a disturbing scene. Think about the ages here. And when Columbus police officers arrived at that scene, Colbertson was in the process of being transported to the hospital. Officers do their best to figure out what led up to this absolutely brutal and violent altercation.
Just get back, boss. Just get back. I know you're my little sister. I know. I need you to stay back, all right? Hey, you gotta let them do their work, okay? Come on, guys. Let's get back. Let's get back. Come on. Come on. I understand. Let's get back. Okay, I'm gonna get your information. Did you see it?
Yes, we
saw it. Who saw it happen?
Me, him,
okay.
The red hoodie.
Okay, in the red hoodie?
Yes.
All right, I need you to get in the cruiser for me, okay? I'm gonna have to get you off your phone, all right?
It's my mom.
I understand that, but I need you.
Okay?
I need you to get in the cruiser, okay?
I'm talking to a cop. I might have to hang up the phone.
All right, what happened?
Bree Barozzini stabbed her. They were getting into a fight, and I was sitting in the Jeep because I cannot be around Bree Barozzini because her baby dad, her brother's my baby dad, and me and her have issues.
Do you know how to spell Barozzini?
Barozzini.
I-N-I. Okay.
Pine Oak Court, Westerville, Ohio is where she lives.
She lives in Westerville, you think?
I know she lives in Westerville. She lives in Westerville.
You said they got in a fight. Go ahead.
They got into a fight, and as Halia walked to the front door of the Jeep, I saw she had a gash on her. She got in the car, and she goes, "I'm getting nauseous." I hopped out the car. I called 911 because I didn't see the fight. I was sitting in the Jeep looking away because I can't be part of that family.
So you didn't see the actual fight?
No, but I know who Bree Barozzini is. I know her mother, and I know her address.
Okay. All right.
The officer speaks with two other witnesses. One who says he didn't know the girls very well, and another who told police he had grown up with Colbertson and she was like a sister to him. He told officers he knew the girls were going to fight, but didn't think it would go so far.
I didn't see her get stabbed at all.
Okay.
It just looked like they were throwing punches.
Okay. Do you know either of them?
I know her, that was it.
Who?
Halia, the one that got stabbed, that was it.
You know her, but you don't know...
I barely... I know him. I worked with Diane for a little bit, and I was hanging out with him tonight.
I need you... Where did it happen at? Yeah, that's here. Take that.
Just right here in the front.
Like in the front of the smoke shop?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I need tape.
And that is when police find out that the witness actually filmed the entire thing.
He's got the whole thing on video.
On video?
Whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
I mean, it's crystal clear HD video. There were two girls standing right here fighting. They were just mouthing.
Where at? Does it show? Just I want to make sure I get the whole scene.
Wherever there's blood is right where it happened.
Okay.
Because she started sparking. It had to have been.
Oh, it was all the way up here by this. That's where she was laying. It was all the way up here. There's a vape pen. Hey, take it out a lot wider, guys.
Hold on.
Right here. Right here.
Right here.
Yep. This is it. So we need to go. I would go all the way back to that one.
Yeah, because it kind of started over here. They were kind of mouthing.
Okay.
It was random as she came in while we came in. Like, it was random as
In the smoke shop.
Yeah, in the smoke shop right there.
Okay.
It just
And
happened to come in, and they started going at it in the store. And Bree called Halia a cokehead.
Okay.
Halia is a sober, like she's a recovering addict. So she took that into great offense. You know, I don't know if you've met any recovering addicts, but like me personally, I'm one.
Who was an addict? I'm sorry.
Halia was an
okay.
addict. So, and she called Halia out on being
A cokehead.
Yeah, so like Halia got mad and Halia was waiting outside and they were supposed to just fight. It was supposed to just be a fight. Like I was there. I was supposed to be like in between it. I didn't even see a knife get pulled.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure if it was a knife or if she had a ring on her finger and just got her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the knife got pulled out and it was on the ground and I saw it.
What kind of knife was it?
It looked like a switchblade, like a butterfly knife type of knife. But I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Like, if I'm going to be honest with you. But she didn't have time to pull it out because Halia, like, I'm not going to lie, that's my little sister, but she smacked the out of her first. Like, you can see it on the video.
Right.
Halia smacked her. All you saw from that was hands on hands. There was no, like, digging into pockets and pulling out and going, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there was none of that, because if I would have seen that, I would have already been in there and y'all would have been called sooner. We didn't know she was bleeding out till she got it back. She crunched Bree in the face. Bree was on the ground and she walked away. Halia walked away, got in the Jeep ready to drive.
Right.
And she was sitting there and Kenji comes over to me and goes, she's spitting blood out of her chest. And I come over and I just see, like, right in this area on the right or left side of her chest, shooting blood. My first reaction is take my mother shirt off, put it on top, put pressure on it.
Okay.
I've had my brothers die in my arms because they got shot and I didn't put pressure on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't put pressure fast enough. So like,
that's rough. That's rough, brother. That's rough.
Man, just please save my sister, bro.
Talk about a key piece of evidence, right? Now, thanks to the witnesses, police were quickly able to identify Miss Barozzini. They went to her home, took her into custody, transported her to the police station for an interview. And according to prosecutors, police found that Barozzini's clothes were in the washing machine and the knife that she'd stabbed Colbertson with was hidden in a crawl space. So once they got to police headquarters, officers leave Barozzini alone in an interview room for hours. And she mostly keeps her head down on the table, only lifting it a few times to stretch or rub her face. But when a detective came in to talk to her, Barozzini was surprised to learn she was being charged with murder. Even more surprised that she was going to have to go to jail.
Just so that you know, Talia was taken to the hospital, and that's where she died. She didn't survive her injuries. So with all the people that we interviewed and the video that we recovered, we're charging you with murder.
No sort of self-defense or anything?
Essentially, it'll be up to the prosecutor's office. We'll present the case to them, and then if they decided that they want us to present to the grand jury, we'll present to the grand jury. If you get indicted for it, then it'll go to trial, it'll go to court, and then you'll be able to present a self-defense claim at that point. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions for me at this time? Do you want me to call your mom right now, or do you want to call her? You'll get a call when you get to the county jail.
I'm not going home.
No, you're going to jail. Because we're charging you with the murder. You'll go to county jail. Tomorrow you'll go to court for your first arraignment. They'll set your bond. And then at that point we have 10 days to present the case to the grand jury for indictment. If we don't do that, you have to be released. If you don't post bond, if we do present to the grand jury and they what's called a no bill, if they decline charges, then the case is dismissed at that point. That's kind of the process right now. So you'll go right now, some patrol officers will take you down to the county jail. You'll get slated down there under the one charge of murder. Tomorrow you'll go to court where they'll set your bond. So when you do get down to the county, we'll have access to a phone if you want to call your family then.
I would like to call my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
Yeah. So right now they're going to take you down one floor, and right there they'll take photos of you and take your fingerprints. That's just process. That's just policy. And then you'll be driven down to Franklin County Jail. Do you have any questions or anything like that? Do you have anything else on you besides anything in your pockets or anything like that? You just got a bracelet. Do you have earrings in?
I have a necklace.
Okay.
Never mind, I don't know where that went.
You don't have your necklace anymore. Okay. Do you have any questions of me right now?
No, just wanna be sure I can call my mom and get a lawyer already.
Yep, you'll be able to do that. All right. I'll sit tight just for a sec. Officers will be with you.
You stand up for me? Face the wall. Put your palms together like this. There you go. Lift your hands off your back a little bit. So we're gonna run downstairs, get your picture taken, and then head down to Jackson Pike, okay?
So Barozzini was charged with 2 counts of murder, 1 lesser charge of involuntary manslaughter, and the murder charge would essentially have meant a life sentence if she were convicted. Now, she was released on a $750,000 bond. By the way, we were able to look up Barozzini on TruthFinder, the powerful background search tool that we use to research our stories, the people involved in them. When we put in her name and location, we were able to see her criminal history, which includes the murder and manslaughter charges that she faced for the 2024 stabbing. And by the way, Law&Crime, we partner with TruthFinder all the time. We use it to get details on people involved in our stories. But even if you don't work in true crime, this can be an excellent resource to give you some peace of mind because it's one of the largest public record search services in the United States. And with a paid subscription service, you can get access to unlimited reports about almost anyone. So right now, if you're interested, you can get 50% off of your first month of confidential background reports. You just got to go to truthfinder.com/LC Sidebar. Okay, back to this. Now, Barozzini's lawyer argued that she had acted in self-defense, arguing that Colbertson was the aggressor in the situation and that she was the one who slapped Barozzini first. After the judge indicated that he would allow the jury to see incriminating messages, including one where Barozzini apparently said, "I will cut that blank on my whole family if she tries showing up to my family's home again," Barozzini decided to enter a guilty plea instead to the lesser charge of involuntary manslaughter. Now, during her sentencing hearing, which was a month later in July of 2024, the judge had a warning for everybody in the courtroom.
So before we get started, I want to let everybody know, I understand this is an emotional and heart-rendering situation. But I do expect decorum. That's why we have the officers here. This is a courtroom. It's not the street.
Barozzini sat stone-faced as Colbertson's loved ones shared victim impact statements, including her grandmother and sister, as well as the best friend who was with Colbertson on that fateful day.
Since she was only 17, she hadn't even begun to understand what she had to offer this world. Her family and friends didn't even get a chance to watch how far her talents and love for life would take her. They say how horrifying it would be to outlive your child. Well, I'm telling you, feeling the grief, suffering the pain of outliving your granddaughter is unbearable.
She was the most beautiful person I've ever met. Everything about her, her strengths, her hardship, her sadness, her anger, her soul. She was one in a million. And the reason I wanted to write this, and I wanted to speak, was to tell you who Halia was. And my personal feelings towards this whole thing.
Take your time, it's fine.
I'd rather be standing at her wedding and giving a speech, or her graduation. But I'm here. And I know Halia. And I know her killer. That night I felt like part of my soul, more like all of it left when Halia left. I relive March 27th of 2023 in my head every day. All I see is Halia in my arms, and I'm screaming on the phone with 911 telling them to hurry. Then I wake up and it's 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and it's the next morning, and it was my dream. Every night since I lost her. Halia never got another birthday, or Christmas, or Thanksgiving. No more holidays. But her killer got to spend every holiday last year since Halia's been killed, freely and with her family. When Halia's family, her whole family, never gets another one. She's forever 17 and that lives in my mind.
This villain took my sister's life that night, but my sister's life was not the only thing it took. It robbed me of my happiness. It stole my smile. It took the best part of me I will never be able to get back. Because of this, my sister is gone forever, and every time I want to talk to Halia, I have to go sit at a graveyard and talk to her headstone. Wishing I could just hear her voice one more time. I wish I could just wake up and run into her room and lay in her bed and hug her and tell her I love her just one more time. This villain ruined every memory Halia never got to make.
And then Barozzini herself spoke during sentencing as well.
Not a day goes by that this incident hasn't been on my mind. I understand and feel for the victim's family, as I know the harm I have caused them is indescribable. I also feel for my own family, as the situation has caused them a lot of pain. I can understand and appreciate the harm that I have caused now. I will be living with this guilt the rest of my life. I took a life, and I understand the victim's family will suffer for the rest of their lives, as will my family for what I've put them through. I pray and will continue to pray for all parties involved.
And the judge ended up sentencing Barozzini to the maximum allowed under the law, 3 years in prison. She's currently locked up in the Ohio Reformatory for Women and is due to be released in June of 2027. But that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.